Hey guys, welcome back. I have a quick video for you today because I just played a game that I think you're going to find pretty interesting, pretty educational. It's something that you might also be able to use in some of your games as well. Um, Pretty fast game. And I've mentioned on a couple videos I don't like playing in the Evans Gambit line. So I've been looking at some alternatives to that with black when you have knight c3 and bishop c4, which we're going to see in a second. And I started playing the two knights game, and there's a little trick here that I wanted to show you guys that I learned and I've been using, and it's been pretty successful. So let's see what we have. So e4, e5. Opponent actually starts with the bishop's opening, but it turns into an Italian game here, which is knight c3, bishop c4. And I play the two knights opening. I don't want to get my bishop out first because I don't really like playing in some of those lines there. So this kind of invites the fried liver attack for white, which is jumping the knight to g5. And this is kind of what I want to see. Now the main book response, I guess, to knight g5. Obviously, the threat here, if you guys don't know, is that we have two pieces piling up on the f7 square here, this pawn. And if the knight comes in, it forks these two, the queen and the rook here. The bishop would come with check as well. So it's a very tempting attack for white, especially at some of the lower levels or intermediate levels of chess. So the book move for black is to play d5 to cut off the bishop's diagonal here. I'm not going to get into that right now because what I'm going to be doing is very different. What I'm going to be doing is called the Ponziani-Steinitz Gambit. You actually jump forward with the knight and capture this pawn here on e4. So there's a couple moves for there's three main moves for white. Only one of them is good. The only good move is taking the pawn on f7 with the bishop because it comes with check. It's still a playable position for black, but if white really knows what they're doing, it'll be difficult. So this probably wouldn't work at super high levels, but either way, I think it's got a lot of traps and a lot of pitfalls in it. So the bishop is the good move. If white retreats and captures the knight here, then black just plays d5, basically forking the two pieces here, and black's in a good position there as well. But now white here played knight captures on f7, which also seems like a good move, but this falls into a trap. So here I played queen to h4, and I'm immediately threatening checkmate in one move. So white's got to respond to this. He can't capture the rook right away. And again, there's a trick here, and I will probably show you in future videos because I'm sure that some white players will play this move. G3 is a mistake. If you play G3, you're already going to be losing in the game. But believe it or not, white castled here, which also seems like a good move. This is also pretty much a losing move for white here. Seems very standard, very safe. But there's a trick here as well for black. So white castled, and the key move here is to grab the pawn on f7 with the knight. And when white takes back with the rook, we play bishop to c5, pinning the rook and creating another double attack here, threatening to capture this rook. So white played queen f3, and now I played rook to f8. So this knight is pinned, my queen is attacking the bishop here, and my rook is attacking, or my bishop is attacking my opponent's rook as well. So there's like a lot of attacks going on here, a lot of craziness. So let's see what white does. Okay, so white played knight to d6 check. I think his idea was opening up the queen and the rook here on f8, potentially checkmating the king. And obviously, if I go ahead and take with the pawn, for example, that's going to hang mate. That's going to hang checkmate in one move. But all black has to do here is just take back with the bishop. And now we're defending that square again. And this attack so far isn't really accomplishing much for white. Not only that, but obviously we've got this rook right now attacking the queen. So white plays bishop to f7 check here. And I moved the king. So obviously you can't take the bishop. If you take the bishop, then you're opening up this file here. So we can't do that. I move my king forward Engine thinks that moving the king back to d8 is the best move. Makes sense. But now this bishop is pinned as well because of the attack on the queen. And white plays d4. Now what white's trying to do, I think, is you can see that these squares are cut off right now for my king. As well as this square as well, obviously, because of the queen. If white can somehow get my queen away from defending this square, the g5 square, white could deliver a checkmate here with the bishop. So this is opening up the diagonal for the bishop here. But I played knight to d4, taking that pawn. So the thing is, he doesn't have the time to move my queen away with maybe g3, for example. And because my knight is attacking this queen here on f3. So once white moves the queen away, now we've only got one defender of this bishop here on f7. So at this point, it makes sense to grab this bishop. So that's what I did. And at the end of the day, now I'm up 5 points of material. Also because white previously kind of just donated his knight there. So now we're up 5 points of material. Okay, white plays knight to c3. That was pretty much the trick there. Now it's kind of a matter of closing it out. So, you know, this c2 pawn is also loose, and I'm forking these two pieces. So I play that move. I check to make sure that the queen can't deliver check and maybe pick that up. Obviously, if the queen goes here, I'm just going to take with my queen. And then, you know, the rook is going to be mine as well. So he does check, but I go ahead and block the check. Force another trade. He moves the rook out of the way. And now I'm just starting to develop some pieces here. I made a little bit of a mistake here because from this check, I should have just moved my king to e6. But I invited another check now. So either way, not a big deal. Folks, remember when you're down 5 points of material, you shouldn't be trading pieces. Probably not a good idea, but that's what white does here. Okay, threatens the knight. I just move the knight back. And you may have noticed now that there's another fork here that I missed. So after white plays h5, I kick the bishop away. And I fork the rook and the king here. And here, white just resigned. But the main point of my video here is just to show you the Ponziani-Steinitz Gambit, which I think is a trick that a lot of players at lower intermediate levels are going to fall for. And it's kind of fun to play. So, you know, the only move here is bishop captures on f7, but even so, there's still tricks in the book here that I will hopefully go over in a future video. Give this a try. Let me know what you think. And yeah, thanks for watching.